Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say that Carter, Lawrence Street Victor, might be one of the most handsome and charismatic men in this fictional town of Los Angeles. But for some reason or another, he just lacks chemistry with this leading woman. Of course, we're talking about Hope Logan, Annika Noel. A lot of fans have noticed that when Carter and Hope share scenes together, it seems like something is always off. That or Carter is just not into Hope as much as the writers would want them to be according to the latest storylines. As our loyal readers can imagine, the internet had a lot to say about the matter on social media. Some have even commented with, "I agree it is hard to watch, but you know who I think did have chemistry was Hope and Finn, and I'm sorry. I'm a little bit bitter towards Stephanie, so yes, I think this would be great." Another B&B fan wrote, "Carter, please go back to just being eye candy for the show. A, you can't act, and B, you have zero chemistry with Hope. I wish they bring back Wyatt for Liam's funeral, and after supporting each other through Liam's death, they fall in love. Again." And then there was this comment as well. I mean, this in general is a thing. You don't want a side character to out-act your lead. I just think Annika can't act really around Carter, not that she a bad actress. You have the all-female episode as proof. It's just so rare for her to bring it all out now. Clearly, fans have spoken, and they think it's time for the writers to stop forcing Carter and Hope together. Simply put, it's not working. Setting the scene, the aftermath of too much change. The Forrester Creations building buzzed with energy as the spring collection neared its final phase. Paris Buckingham adjusted a model's hem as she chatted with Ridge and Zend, throwing in a few flirty jokes that earned warm chuckles. Across the room, Carter Walton stood near a rack of men's suits, silently observing the interactions with a polite but distant expression. Carter had everything he once thought he wanted: a respected position at Forrester Creations, admiration from his peers, and most recently, a new romantic interest that seemed perfect on paper. But something was off. It wasn't that there was drama, arguments, or betrayal. It was worse. There was nothing, no spark, no anticipation, no electricity. And it left Carter wondering if he had stepped into a situation more about expectation than true connection. Enter Katie Logan, the Eeks and the Mirror. Katie Logan leaned against the doorframe of Carter's office, watching him shuffle papers like he wasn't fully present. "You okay?" she asked, her voice low, familiar. Carter looked up, startled, then smiled weakly. "I'm good. Just buried in legal contracts and design sign-offs," he replied. Katie raised an eyebrow. "That's not what I asked." Carter exhaled and leaned back in his chair. "Had you ever tried so hard to make something work because on paper, it looks like it should, but your heart just won't follow?" Katie gave a slow nod. "I have. More times than I care to admit." There was a long pause between them. This wasn't the lingering heat of their previous romance. This was the bittersweet recognition of a truth. They had chemistry, but timing was their enemy. Carter's thoughts drifted to his current relationship, with someone everyone expected to be a great match: Luna Nozowa. The unexpected pairing, Carter and Luna. It had started innocently. After Luna's public debacle at the fashion preview, where her mother Poppy's past had nearly derailed her career, Carter had been a rock. He had stood by her, defended her, and offered her the stability she hadn't found in Zend or RJ. Ridge and Steffi had been impressed by Carter's loyalty. Poppy had encouraged Luna to explore someone more grounded. Even Brooke had remarked, "He's solid, Luna, not like the boys you've dated." It made sense. Luna was sophisticated, ambitious, and needed calm. Carter was mature, dependable, and understanding. They began dating. But the chemistry, it fizzled instead of flamed. Carter began to feel like a mentor instead of a lover. Luna, in turn, treated their dates like networking lunches. Sweet smiles, polite kisses, and always an early excuse to leave. One night over wine, Carter finally asked her, "Are you happy with me?" Luna looked down at her glass and sighed. "I'm grateful for you, Carter. You're everything I should want." He blinked. "That's not a yes." She didn't answer. Steffi's warning and Paris's confession. Later that week, Steffi invited Carter to her office under the guise of discussing legal contracts. But the moment he sat down, she closed the door and cut to the chase. "I know you're seeing Luna, and I know you want stability. But are you sure you're not just convincing yourself she's right for you?" Carter frowned. "Why does everyone think we don't belong together?" "Because we see you light up when you talk about Katie, or even when you argue with Quinn, but with Luna, you disappear. You're not Carter." He didn't respond. As if the universe wanted to hammer the point home, Paris walked into the CEO office not an hour later to drop off design updates. Once Steffi left, Paris turned to him. "I wasn't going to say anything," she began, "but Carter, you're not yourself lately." "I'm fine," he said quickly. Paris gave him a half smile. "You know, I used to think you were too perfect. But you're not. You're human, and you deserve something real. Not something that looks good on the surface." The honesty caught him off guard. "What are you saying?" he asked. Paris shrugged, but her eyes glimmered. "I'm saying, maybe Luna's not the one. And maybe the one who is, hasn't left yet." R.J. Forrester, the jealous bystander. While Carter questioned his own heart, R.J. Forrester watched Carter and Luna with tight jaws and narrowed eyes. He'd never completely gotten over Luna. Seeing her with Zende had been bad enough, but with Carter it stung. He pulled Luna aside after a group meeting. "Are you happy with Carter?" She hesitated. "He's kind. And he believes in me." "That's not what I asked." Luna looked torn. "I'm trying to be. He's what I should want." Aji frowned. "That's the second time I've heard you say that. Since when do we pick relationships like we pick insurance plans?" She didn't answer. Instead, she walked away, leaving RJ with a renewed determination. Katie and Carter. An unexpected collision. It was a rainy evening when Carter found himself in Il Giardino, sipping espresso alone. Katie spotted him through the window and walked in without hesitation. "You look like you've been stood up," she joked. "More like stood still," he replied. "Everything around me is moving, but I'm not." They shared a quiet dinner, laughter flowing naturally. No expectations, no forced smiles, just chemistry. As they parted ways outside, Katie hesitated. "I don't want to interfere with whatever's going on with Luna." Carter looked at her seriously. "There's nothing going on, not really, and I miss this. You." Katie smiled but didn't reply. She just placed a kiss on his cheek and whispered, "Figure it out, Carter. Before you waste something real chasing an illusion." The breaking point, Luna's choice. Luna sat on the balcony of the Forrester mansion, legs pulled to her chest, when Poppy joined her. "I saw Carter today," Poppy said softly. "He looked sad." "He is," Luna admitted. "So am I." Poppy gave her daughter a long look. "Then why are you with him?" "Because I'm tired of making mistakes. He's a good man." "That's not enough, Luna. Don't do to him what others have done to you. Don't stay out of fear." Tears welled in Luna's eyes. "I didn't want to hurt him." "You already are," Poppy said. Carter's honest goodbye. At the Forrester offices the next day, Carter pulled Luna aside. "Let's not pretend anymore," he began. Luna nodded slowly. "I was just thinking the same thing." He smiled gently. "You're brilliant and sweet, and I care about you. But we both know we're not in love." Her lip trembled. "I'm sorry." "Don't be, you gave it a shot." "So did I." There was no drama, no anger, just quiet closure. As Luna walked away, Carter felt a surprising weight lift from his shoulders. The final reveal. The one he can't forget. Days later, Carter arrived at Bill Spencer's house, invited for a legal consult about Spencer Publications. But it wasn't Bill who opened the door. It was Katie. She blinked in surprise. You're early. Carter stepped inside and said without hesitation, I ended it with Luna. Katie's eyes softened. Are you okay? I am. For the first time in a long time, I'm not settling. I'm finally listening to my heart. Katie exhaled. And what's your heart saying? He took her hand. That I still love you, and I think I always will. Closing scene. Chemistry reignited. In the glow of the fireplace, Carter and Katie sat side by side. No pressure, no expectations. Just truth, because Carter Walton had finally realized what everyone else had seen for weeks. He was lacking chemistry with Luna, not because she wasn't wonderful, but because the real spark, the kind that couldn't be forced, still lived with someone else. And this time, he wasn't going to let it fade again. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our B&B Carter YouTube channel for more update news.